Welcome. Welcome to the third part 3 of the Project Management Database System, PMDS, Operation Management System, OMS. And as again, I'm going to go through my introduction so that you, for those of you who have not seen the previous 2 parts, I'm going to go ahead and go through this. I'm going to kind of like brush through it, but if you want to go ahead and go to 1 and 2, you can. Most of you who already seen the video, they already went through this, so this is going to be the last time I actually go through the introduction and everything like that, okay? We're just going to go ahead and go straight to the training, all right? Again, welcome to the Shephard Enterprise Business Administration Information System Consultants Project Management Database System, PMDS, Operation Management System, OMS training sessions. Our system training sessions are designed to allow each project manager personnel the ability to learn all processing steps so all your project management tasks and clients and customer-based activities are fulfilled to completion and on time. Using our PMDS system will allow your project manager to effectively streamline any additional use from application resources used as a tool to structure your agile project management framework and environments. Our PMDS system will quickly allow your project manager to match all current and new professionals to the right project assignment and task, making your project lag time decrease by 15% or more. Okay, let's get started. Our training sessions will be divided into 7 level training sessions. Training level 1 for beginners, training level 2 is for intermediate, training level 3, advanced, training level 4, structured information and resources, training level 5, networking, business opportunities and clients, training level 6, your computer application systems and the use of its features, training level 7, learning how to obtain information about your company for reports and meetings. Each level training session will increase in complexity, but the focus will always be to ensure that you have a full understanding of what is needed to set up the customer record to begin your project work from start to finish. For example, training level 1, beginners, will cover the initial engagement of a potential client and log that potential client as a prospective customer. This will allow your company's salesperson or company consultant to reach back out to the potential client to see if there were any additional questions needed to be answered that would prompt their interest in becoming a paying customer. For example, training level 2, intermediate persons will engage into a more active role as a project manager. In this role, the project manager will be documenting, then engage into the new customer business-related ideals and obtaining important business-related matters that your company can assist to either restructure or improve in the current processes. It will also include obtaining an estimated cost analysis that will focus on giving the customer the best solutions for the right costs. Also, as an example, training level 2, intermediate. While in the active role as a project manager, you will be documenting business approach and objectives, keeping consistent contact with the contact person who is assigned to making any financial decisions concerning any additional resources needed to complete each phase and task created. This role will also be included with submitting the necessary service request tickets for obtaining new customer numbers and project numbers. At the end of each training session, I will be crossing out the training level that has been fully covered and completed. For example, once we have completed training level 1 for beginners, I will cross it out. When we complete training level 2 for intermediate, I will be crossing it out. When I finish training level 3 for advanced persons, I will cross it out, and so forth and so on. Let's begin our training. Again, this is training level 1, beginners, part 3 for the Project Management Database System, PMDS, Operation Management System, OMS system. This training level 1, beginners, part 3, we will be covering the customer accounting administration, customer accounting approvals, accounting funding, approvals, and adjustment screen in its relationship with the customer account bill administrator, verify, and bill customer account screen. the customer account approvals, accounting, funding, approval and adjustment screen. As in the previous training sessions instructions, we'll be crossing out what we have covered at the end of this session until we have covered the full form. Again, as example, when we finish going over, open all the new and current customer related requests to be worked, we cross it out. Shephard Family Enterprise or Finance Office approval, cross it out. Project funded status, cross it out, and so forth and so on. Until we have completed all the different aspects of that form so that you have a full understanding exactly what to do once you are working with this application. Okay. Now, most of you probably already seen the screen already, but for the ones who are just coming in, what we're going to be doing, basically, we're going to be covering the client customer menu. Now, in the previous first training video, we went over the client customer work screen, where we actually engaged the customer, and it went through the process of the consultant gathering the needed information to build a relationship with that customer, and then the project manager picked up the request, and then reached out and got more information about the client until the client said, okay, I would like to take on an agreement with your company. Okay. Okay, and the second part, we went over the client account menu. All right, and in the client accounts menu, what we did basically, we went into the customer build administrator, customer account build administrator, and we actually started building the customer record. All right. Now, in this third portion, what we're going to be doing right now, we're going to be going over the customer accounting administrator and account adjustments. And this process here, what we're going to be doing basically is looking how after it has been identified that we will be taking on this customer as a client, then we have to make sure that all the checks and balances are in line so that we can start receiving payment for the work we're doing, okay, or your company is doing, getting from the client. Okay, this screen right here is the customer accounting administrator screen, customer accounting for approvals. And as you see here, we have the search screen. The first thing we would do here, we would be clicking open all new and current customer account requests to be worked. Once you click this button, it would do a series of updates and what happened to pull back the new records that's available. And then from that there, it would come up and say, okay, this is a new record. The customer number will already be there and stuff like that. The order number. Most of the information will already be in the document on this screen. That you need all the information you need in order to start approving this customer project to be worked. Okay, and in this screen here, as you see, once the customer accounting administrator receive the record, first thing they do there will reach out to the customer, find out exactly who the financial officers are, the person responsible for paying for the project work, and etc. Okay. At this time, at the corporate level, as you see here, okay, the corporate level accounting is saying that, okay, the account manager, okay, or the account administrator, administrator said, okay, we already reached out to the customer and we know that this customer has a valid address and we have the information that's needed for you to proceed to work on this project, okay? And what happened is that the accounting administrator will go out and reach out to that financial officer and say, okay, we're supposed to be working with this client. We're going to work with your company to work on a particular project. And this is what we need in order to start working on the product. Okay. Now, what would happen is that whatever what is negotiated, and this right here will be negotiated in the service agreement between your company and your client. They would establish exactly how much credit you're going to give that client for you to start on that particular project. All right. Once that happens, okay, and that's established, then you'll put in a customer credit amount. All right. Now, the available credit amount is what is available, okay, the balance available after you start working on it. All right. Usually, what we do, our company, we obtain a 10% non-refundable deposit, okay, to start working on any project. All right. From there, the finance officer, all right, of your company or our company, have to approve this. So they'll put in their name and put in their ID, notifying us, saying, okay, this is what we're going to be working on after we get all the information that's needed to work on this project. Now, right here you see the project funded status, and then the project funded status. You have project funded, and there's a lot of different things. Once we go into the database itself, we'll further reach out and look at it, explain it more. But this right here is giving you an idea of what's going on. Okay, so as I move through the counts, you will see exactly why these things are populated. Okay. Okay, and then what will happen is that we have to go back, push that information back to the customer account build administrator. And a customer account build administrator will say, okay, as you see here, they already have their name, they already approved, they see that the finance officer name has been populated here. We know that this they did their checks and balances. They will say, okay, it's approved. Okay, now we can start working on this project. Okay, it has been funded. Okay, and as you see here, you see the finance officer name, which is shaded out, so that means that no one can change it. And then you have the corporate level status, account status, right, which is active. The project number level status active. All right, and well, this wouldn't be active right now. The reason why it's active because the project already working. And then you have the department level account action, all right, which is active. And then you have the pre-approved, and then you have the project funded status, which is funded, and the account workbook, okay, ID. And this account workbook ID is what goes into the general ledger. Let us know that we are receiving payments for the work that we are doing with the client, okay? All right, then we'll go back into the customer build administrator, right? And then the customer build administrator will look at the document and say, okay, he will set up the department name, department subname, subsection, the type of sub-account, department account ID, department location, all right, and then department tag approval code. Now, in this particular one, for this particular customer, the reason why this is shaded out is because department location ID is the ID that we're using to identify that this department where we'll be doing the work for this project, this is the ID that we'll be using to say, okay, under this company that we're working for, this is their department ID. And it's something that's is given to you, to your company, through their company accounting section, right? Saying that, okay, user's ID, and we know that we have an agreement with your company, and then whatever the invoice is, this is what we're going to be paying, all right? And then you have the department tag ID approval code, and whatever approval code that your company established, saying, okay, this is a valid department location ID, this is a valid account, and then that is the code that you would actually put into this department tag ID approval code section, right? Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to look at, each time that you make a change to this document, and it may take a week, it may take 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, how long it takes your company to negotiate an agreement or a contractual agreement with that company that you be doing a project work for. You have to keep the customer client okay, the customer client, the client customer worksheet updated, and also the service request, so that the project manager, he can go out and look at the client customer worksheet and see what's going on. All right, and once that happens, you can just update the customer with just minor changes that to the record, anything like that. And then and then here you said validate customer accounting. And then from there, you would actually say, okay, we're going to validate to make sure that the funding is available for us to start working on the account, or whatever the situation is. You like the account build manager may be talking to the project manager, and then talk to the accounting administrator and say, okay, well, we're just waiting. Okay, you can start on the project. Okay, and then they will contact the project manager. So, okay, continue. You can go ahead and start working on the project. It has been approved as a pre-approved account, and it's okay for you to start. All right. So all they do here is just continue to validate customer account funding to make sure the account is active, is an active paying customer. Okay. And then again, you have the accounting the customer accounting section, where here we're going to be looking at the accounts payable log, and this comes out of your AP log and whatever number you put down for this particular record, all right, and how you go about updating the record, all right, so they can go directly to that log, and then they can say, okay, this is what they've been paid, and this is the effective date, and everything like this. And this right here will be put in a historical document, so you can keep track of what you are actually being paid on a weekly basis, monthly basis, or whatever it is, okay? All right, so what we have covered so far in this segment of the training instructions, okay, we covered open all new and current customer account requests to be worked, the Shephard Family Enterprise finance officer name approval, okay, project funded status, pre-approved project status, department account, department location ID, department name, department tag ID, department tag approval code, department name subsection, the customer account verification, the customer account business EIN, which is the employee identification number that the customer give you to let you know that this customer right here has a valid business name that's registered with their state. The contact name, the contact person's phone number. If there's a second phone number, use that. Contact person email. The customer account type of business, the type of account, okay, the type of sub account, and account release status, which is basically said, okay, this account is ready to be worked. And if we'll go into it once you get into the application, okay. Then a business creation date, all right. And then we went through the customer contract number, which we'll go through when we go into the actual database, corporate level account status, project number level status, department level status. A lot of these things here we'll cover once we go into the actual database. Okay. Now we go into the actual PMDS system to begin our in-depth training level 1 beginners part 3 session. Customer account approvals, account funding approvals, and adjustment screen and features, which is the 4th part of our session. Okay. Okay. All right, so we already went through the signing in of the process and went through the other process as far as the other splash screens, so we can go directly into the application. And here, what I described to you before, we're going into the client accounts menu. Once we go into the client's accounts menu, we're going to be going into the customer account administrator account, right? Okay, and in here we're going to be going into the account number. I thought I had the account number here. Let me see the account number. I had the account number adjusted. Let me go back to our training document. 204 customer account 204. Okay, so once we do that, now again, as I described it before, the first thing you do, you will click open all new current customer account request to be worked. This account have already been worked, so we're not going to go and do that right now. What we're going to do, basically, we're just going to go through the screen, let you see exactly what's happening, what's going on, and how we, the purposes of why we do what we're doing, okay? And the relationship it has with the customer build account, all right? So as you see here, we have your order number, right? We have your customer account number, which has actually been established with customer build administrator, right? Then we had the project condition, which is a pre-approved account, right? So that means that the customer project manager, the project manager can start working on the details of the account. Then you have the location ID, like I explained to you again before. This right here be obtained through their finance office and the tag ID, and then their department department tag approval code, right? Then you have the department name subsection, right? Which you would say, okay, well, our project team is going to be working on this, right? Then you have all the information that you need. Then you have the service agreement. This right here is not available because it's an intercompany project. And then you have the EIN, which is on file, right? You can actually put that here, but since it's going to be an open database, you can actually, the EIN will be in the service agreement, okay? And the service agreement will be an attachment in another database. Well, not in another database, but in another portion of our database, okay? Okay, then you have the type of account, right? Okay, you have the customer account business type, which is general operations management, and you can put in here anything you want, or it can be added. We usually say general operation management because we're actually working with a department right here. This is intercompany. And then we have the type of account, which is service account, corporate level enter. So this is dealing with inside our company. And then we have the vendor, marketing, supplier, inter-department level. Okay. And then we have the sub account, and then we have all the different types of sub accounts that we are working with. Okay. Okay. So the next thing is that, as you see here. Okay, it said account release status is active. So it's saying that what you would be doing basically, in the accounting section, you would release it, right? If you don't, you can say hold or pending, whatever it's like that. This right here will let the project manager know that, okay, do not do anything to this account, right? Work on this account because it's either if its account is closed and billing. If it's 30-day outstanding, there will be rules set in order for this document or this project to be worked, right? Okay. Here, as you see here, the corporate level, which is from the corporate build administrator, he said, okay, this is an active account, right? The active account means that this account is actually, we have already researched the account already, and everything is available, okay, for us to start working account and start receiving funds for this account. Then you have the project number level status, right? Whereas that this is just telling us that, okay, this account is available and we are is active, right? And then here you can see building customer account, build account completed, active, inactive, on hold, cancel, pending payment, orders closed. This is what the customer account administrator does. They actually say that that the project level status, okay, is active, which is the that right there would depend on if the project number has been created, is approved. Then you have the department level account action, which is okay. It's assigned to and a department, right? It was active, and you have here it says building customer account, building project phase, delinquent account, on hold, whatever. Okay, and then here, as we described previously, you have the customer credit amount, and this right here will be negotiated with the finance officer, defining exactly how much they will be, how much work will be done, and how much we're going to actually be charging that customer. All right, and then you establish a credit amount. That means that you may agree on $10,000, right? But they may want additional work done, so you give them a $5,000 credit. It's up to your company, right? Usually, what I do, because of the relationship I have with my clients, I give them a credit amount, but then I have a cap, right? And it will not be $15,000. I won't let them use it for $15,000 of work. I'll give them a cap. So I will say, okay, if I'm working with three consultants they're working with three consultants from my company, and at the end of the month they would have to pay us whatever the salaries are for those consultants work for their company, right? So what happened is that will be the cap, right? Even though the cap may be higher, the credit may be higher, but the cap may be lower, all right? So that keeps us from going in the red, all right? And there's available credit, which is $11,800, and all this is saying that we have done probably like $600 worth of work, right? And then you'd use update calculate amounts. So when you click the update calculate amounts, what it does is that it go out to the we have another worksheet that we use for the project managers, and what happens is that as they start doing work, they give an estimated cost of how much the work that we're doing, okay, per week or whatever the situation is, okay, for invoicing. Okay, and again, right here you have the account manager name, account manager manager employment ID number, which was previously described, this ID number that we give to our consultants, right, or the people who work with our company, so that they can get paid as well, right? These are salary positions. All right, then we got the finance officer name, right? And the finance officer, Shephard Enterprise finance officer, and the finance officer EID. This right here have to be here, all right? Have to be in these positions right here. And if this is not included, and that it trickles down to when they get ready to establish the project number, okay? Because if the project account manager does not approve this, and the Shephard Family Enterprise finance officer does not approve it, a project number cannot be created. And and when we go into the actual build of the project number, and we start going through the processes, which is basically more the intermediate level training, you will see why this is actually necessary, okay? Okay, and also you have the fiscal year, right, that this project's work. This is 2018, but of course, it's 2020 now. But, this is when I actually started working with this, okay, and this is off and on, and I'm using this as a tutorial, so I didn't really change anything on here. All right, and then we have the accounts payable log, as I described it here before. These numbers right here would actually go into your general ledger, okay, or your accounts payable log, and the date, and then how much you actually paid out, right, or how much they paid, and then you have the receivables, okay, and how much money you received total from the company, right, and then the general ledger number, right. So all these numbers will be able to link up to each other. All right, then you have the general ledger effective date, and then you have the actual total balance that the customer actually has. Okay. All right. So after that, you'll click approve funded account, right? And then once you push approve funded account, that right there will allow this customer to be able to go back into the project manager, be able to go back and say, okay, this account has been approved, and we can start building the account, right? Okay, and at that time, what you would do is you will go back to the customer service, menu. All right, and what I'm going to do basically, I'm going to, so I don't have to keep bouncing around. I'm going to go directly to the service form. Oh, okay, let me keep it this way. Okay, you go back to the service request screen. You go back to the accounts. You got to go to customer bill administrator. Okay, and after you go to the customer bill administrator, we're going to put in the customer account. Okay, search this record. Okay, it's here. And as you see here, as I described, this is the finance officer name, right? And then this is the corporate level has been approved. The project number status has been approved. The pre-approved project has been approved. Then we have the project funded. And this right here, the project funded status, it's interchangeable, right? Because it's a red flag on the account itself. So the customer account bill manager, they can actually switch this, right? All right, you know what I'm saying? But it does, he don't have to, but he can actually switch it if he feels something's going on. And then the accounting officer can contact the customer bill administrator and say, okay, why is this like this? Okay, why is this the project? It's saying the project not funded, right? And then they can discuss what's going on. And then you have here, you have a delinquent account. You can set this, and then from that point on, you can take it from there, okay? Then you have the project condition right here. And the same thing, it says, this right pretty cool. It could be a qualified client, right? Customer account. So that means that, this account has already been established with your company, and you are continuing to work with this customer, all right? And then you have all the other information that you see here, all right, which you went through in the previous videos, training videos. And as you see here, you have to update the customer client record, okay, every time you make a change, all right, after the funding has been available, and the customer number has been available, and all the other information. Okay, if you make any changes, say update client record. All right, then you validate customer account, which the finance officer would actually make the adjustment. So when you validate customer account, it will push that information back to the project manager's queue, so that he'll know whether or not he have to be working on this project. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go back to the customer service screen. All right, and again, we're going to go back here, and then as you see here, okay, we'll go back to customer number. This is a customer number. I think this is okay. And as you see here, all this information is populated, right? Okay, you see this is the customer account status is active. All right, project conditions, pre-approved project, you got the customer number, all this information is there. The only thing you would not see, which we have not actually went through yet, is the project number, right? Which we're going to go into that in our next segment, how we go about building that relationship. And then we're going to go through the approvals, all right? And after that, we're going to go into the intermediate. Intermediate is more in-depth, and we're going to go through that as well in our next session. So, again, this is all for this segment of the training. Again, this is a YouTube training video. I'll really appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel, like it, and then share it. All right, this will help to get my services out there and get more people, and so our company can get more clients, and we can share this information with other people who are actually trying to look for a business consulting company that can come in and help them establish some type of tool that would help their company push things forward a lot faster. Okay? All right. So I just want to say thank you, right, for working with us. And if you have any questions, okay, you can contact us through www.shepherdfamilyenterprise.com, and you can either leave a comment, let us know what you think, and like I say again, I would like to thank you for your time. All right? Okay, thank you, and have a very wonderful day.